Hello everybody, I am Jay Shady, and you are listening to the voice of reason. So before we get into the fun stuff, before we get into business, I gotta do two shout outs right here. One, the Killer Donuts. Go subscribe. I'm doing my job. The Killer Donuts answered a question correctly. I quoted a line. I said if you guess the movie that this line is from, I'll give you a shout out. The Killer Donuts responded first with Clerks, so he got it right. So I'm doing my job. Go subscribe to the Killer Donuts. I'll leave a link in the description. He does gamer stuff, so if you're a gamer, go check that channel out. Part 2 of this shout out. Juicy Sparkles. Go subscribe to Juicy Sparkles if you haven't. I'm not sure if that's the full name, but I'm going to leave a link to that channel in the description box. 2 reasons why you should subscribe to Juicy Sparkles. 1, talks about wrestling. 2, she's a girl. Yeah, when does that ever happen? How many of those do you ever come across? Girls that talk about wrestling, you know? So go do that, do your part, and go help out a girl here. I believe she's actually a woman. I think she's like late 20s or something. But yeah, she talks about wrestling, so, you know, you don't have to hear a guy talking for a fucking change, you know? You don't have to look at a guy's fucking sausage. You know, for once you could actually hear a girl. You know, you could stare into the eyes of a feminine lady, hear a feminine voice. Talk about the stuff we love, which is wrestling. You can't get that much in society, so go subscribe to Juicy Sparkles. Good stuff. Anyway, now that that stuff is done, now that you've subscribed, we're going to talk about Raw tonight. And you know, it's very sad because tonight I missed a great fucking New York Rangers playoff hockey game. The Rangers won 4-3, and I caught glimpses of the game, but most of the game I didn't get to see because I fucking had to dedicate myself to this fucking piece of crap tonight. What a bad show. Horrible show. For some reason, I don't know how. This is like scientifically impossible, but this show just keeps getting more boring and more worse each and every week. It is phenomenal. You start off Raw with John Cena coming out. He starts cutting a promo. And holy fucking shit. You know, I mean, I'm not even exaggerating with this. You know, we come on here a lot, all of us, and we're saying, you know, this Cena came out, he cut the worst promo of all time. This is the worst Cena promo. But yet, this time, it's for real. Not the worst promo of all time, but the promo that he cut tonight, this is the reason why I hate Cena. This is the reason why many of us hate Cena. Because of promos like this. He goes into his jokey comedy material again tonight. He talks about Ryback. And he's talking about how Ryback was staring at him last week, and Ryback was looking at him, and it was for sure that Ryback was DTF, which means doing the Fandango. You know, playing on the whole down to fuck thing. I guess he was trying to get some cheap laughs from the internet crowd, but, you know, it wasn't funny at all. And, you know, you're going to have people on here saying, wow, Cena's edgy, look, you're talking about Cena being for the kids, he said DTF. Whatever. But then it just gets fucking worse from there. Like, you know, the DTF thing, whatever, haha, I didn't laugh at all, but, you know, whatever, I could let that pass by. Somehow this man starts talking about a picture of him out there that's photoshopped of him with Betty White, and a spatula is involved. You know, and nobody was laughing. I mean, where did this come from? What is on this man's mind 24/7 where he starts talking about fucking Betty White with a spatula? What is wrong with this man? This man is such a fucking baby. It's ridiculous. Nobody understood this. It was like his Call of Duty promo where he's just rambling about random shit. I mean, you could have... It's not good when you're cutting a comedic promo or, you know, doing stand-up comedy and in the audience you could hear a pin drop. And I'm not exaggerating. He was saying these jokes and you could have heard, if you listen closely to the TV, you could have heard whispers from the audience, and you probably could have picked up on what they were talking about because nobody, not even the kids, were responding to this shit. It was horrible. Then Vicky Guerrero comes out, and Ryback comes out, and Cena tries to mock Ryback and shit. And, you know, Cena fans on Facebook were going crazy saying this was hilarious, but this wasn't funny at all. He was doing a really corny, like, Jim Carrey mocking Ryback type of thing. This is the thing, whenever Cena tries to do comedy, he always comes off as like a half-assed Jim Carrey. He talks in Ryback's voice, he goes, "My favorite movie is Fried Green Tomatoes because it's about food." I I'm not making those lines up. This is what this motherfucker said. We're starting off Raw with the quote, fried green tomatoes. This is insane. And then he starts saying that the stipulation in the Ryback versus John Cena match maybe should be Vicky's grandma panties on a pole. It's not funny, John. Nobody is laughing. You ever watch something, this happens to me a lot. You're watching somebody make an ass out of themselves, or you're watching a bad movie, and you feel embarrassed watching it, like you feel embarrassed for the person doing it, and that's how I felt. I felt like, somebody just watched, my grandma have sex with, like, my brother or something, I felt so embarrassed for John Cena with this shit tonight. I mean, nothing serious was said. It was mocking Ryback doing just really, really fucking childish, And for the people who found this funny, I suggest that you go watch Nickelodeon or Disney Channel, because they do the same type of humor for the same type of audience. So if you found this funny, you'll probably find that stuff funny. Okay? Yeah. All right. So they announced the match as a last man standing match. So, I'm sure we'll be getting the guest return of duct tape in that match. And then you get Randy Orton versus Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow provides the most entertainment for the whole night with what he came out with. He comes out and he sings Randy Orton's song, but in his own words. He talks about Randy Orton's voices in his head and how Randy Orton puts Damien Sandow to bed. Fucking men. Thank you, because Randy Orton puts everybody to bed. I cannot stay awake when Randy Orton is on TV. Then he talks about, he says something about Randy Orton's baby oil being heinous, and then he's going to go beat up this ignoramus. And then the way that the commentators always have to put down the heel and bury the heel. Jerry Lawler says that heinous doesn't rhyme with ignoramus. Are you fucking retarded, Jerry? During this match, when they put the little things, this is what I do when I watch matches now, because they're so fucking boring. They put the little scroll things with the, the fans posting their tweets, like regular fans posting their tweets. And I'm realizing this, every time you see the fans posting tweets, they're either just a clusterfuck of grammatical errors or a bunch of misspelling. And this is why. Because the passionate WWE fans who actually care about this are either children, idiots, or people from another country that don't know how to speak English. And you even see this when it comes to Facebook or YouTube or WWE site. Whenever people are posting comments, it's always gibberish and it's non-English. It's totally spelled fucking bad. And you see it right here on Raw. You'll see people's comments on Cena. Cena is the number one. He beat the world. Cena champion forever or some shit like that. It's like not spelled right because these people are idiots or they're from another country and they don't know what the fuck is going on. Randy Orton wins the match somehow, of course. Then Y2J comes out and Y2J starts cutting a really bad fucking promo, making fun of Fandango's name again with a bunch of PG fucking remarks. It is just insane what Chris Jericho has come to. What he's had to resort to in the PG fucking product. Then he calls out the tons of funk, so they start rating Fandango's match. They start rating Fandango's match with the number cards, giving him 1s and 2s and all that shit. Really fucking PG. We have Fandango versus R-Truth. I don't think anybody gave a fuck about this match. I'm not gonna talk. The match sucked. Fandango walks away, so he loses by a count out. You have Brodus Clay smiling with the fucking numbers. I do not want to see this shit on my TV. I should have just stuck to the Rangers game tonight. Then you get Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler. This was, for today's standards, this was a good match. But that's the thing. It's for today's standards, it was a good match. 1 week down the road, 2 weeks down the road, are we going to remember anything from this match? No. That's the problem with the good matches of today. I think everybody gets so excited whenever something isn't bad that they say it's phenomenal or it's one of the best matches ever. But are we really going to remember this match 1 week from now? No. But for today, it was a good match, Alberto Del Rio has the armbar on Ziggler. Jack Swagger is ringside, and he starts beating up on Alberto Del Rio, I believe, when the ref isn't looking. Then the ref sees him and he disqualifies. So Ziggler gets disqualified. Del Rio gets the disqualification win. Then the beatdown is okay with Jack Swagger brings out the ladders and starts beating up the guys with the ladders. I mean, it wasn't that great or anything, but it was alright. Probably the best segment of the night besides fucking Damien Sandow's Orton song. Then you get the announcement that Raw is expanding to half an hour. We're going to get a half-hour pre-show of Raw. 3 hours just isn't enough. 3 hours of entertainment just isn't enough. We have to keep it going. I'm sure if they have their way, this Raw is going to probably start at like 4 fucking p.m., go on till 12 at night, you know? 8 hours of Raw, that's still probably not going to be enough for these fucking people. You know, this is getting ridiculous now. Anybody who watches this pre-show is nothing but a fucking loser. I don't care who you are. If you watch this pre-show, you are a loser. 3 hours of Raw for me is too much. 3 hours of Raw, and I think I'm a loser watching that shit. I can't even imagine what it's like watching SmackDown main event and all that shit. But you know, it's like they're trying to take away the specialty of everything that they do. Like the specialty of pay-per-views. Pay-per-views are supposed to be 3 hours long. They're supposed to be 1 hour longer than your main show. But now Raw is longer than pay-per-views. And pay-per-views are supposed to be the only ones with pre-shows. But now Raw is going to have a pre-show. And it's probably going to be, the whole pre-show is probably going to be one stupid-ass dark match with like JTG versus Kurt Hawkins or some shit. And then it's going to all probably be about their business initiatives or be a star. It's all going to be promoting their business bullshit. Then you get The Shield versus Usos and Kofi Kingston. Where the fuck did this match come from, you know? I mean, we've seen The Shield beat guys like Cena and Orton and Sheamus, and now we're supposed to believe that the Usos actually have a chance here? Okay, whatever. The Shield, you know, surprisingly beats the Usos. Somehow, I don't fucking care. It wasn't even a good match. Then you get Antonio Cesaro versus Zack Ryder. I guess Zack Ryder is finally crawling his way out of the doghouse, and he finally gets a win here. This was just a squash match, though. Honestly, at this point, I was watching the Bulls beat the Heat, so I really wasn't watching this match. Then Cesaro cuts a promo at the end. I liked the promo. It was, you know, it sounded like he was trying to be taken seriously, which was good. And then he says that he puts the W in WWE. You know, so I guess he puts the world in WWE or something like that. I guess he was trying to say, I don't know. Because there's no wrestling, that's for sure. So I guess Cesaro puts the world in WWE. Yeah! 5 languages, you know. Then you get the Paul Heyman versus and Brock Lesnar thing where they stormed the WWE headquarters. For such a huge company, such a huge organization, you know, what a lack of security. I mean, I could probably go there and stir shit up. I didn't see one person from security confront these people. You had some, like, 5'5", 100-pound white guy in a suit. That was the only opposition they had. But they go to Triple H's office. You know, this was, like, something that you would watch on one of their YouTube channels, not something on Raw. You know, I always say that they need to start taking some of the segments in action outside of the ring area itself. But when I say that, this wasn't what I had in mind. This was just boring. Brock Lesnar destroys Triple H's office. Ooh, this is so edgy. This is so intellectual. You know, I mean, it's cheap. It's fucking retarded. Well, I mean, who's going to get so pissed off that their office got destroyed? Why couldn't Brock Lesnar go out there and fucking rape Stephanie or some shit? That would have been something that would have had me invested. Not destroying some corporate office. Then you get a fucking Triple H coming out, whatever. You know, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman's via satellite. I just wanted to say that Paul Heyman referred to himself as the voice of reason. Really? Are you serious, bro? Not happening. There's only one voice of reason, and it's this guy. So yeah, after Paul Heyman stole my trademark, Triple H comes out. He starts talking about how he has 2 offices. One is that office and one is the office in the ring. And in the ring, in that office, he fights back. You know, this promo went on for like fucking 15, 20 minutes. Whenever Triple H is there, you know that's a half an hour right there that it's going to take up. And I was watching the end of the Rangers game for most of this shit. So, you know, But I was like flipping through so many games, and I land on it, and Triple H is still fucking in the ring. Then you get to the Divas match. Didn't watch it. Then you get Mark Henry coming out. He starts talking about some shit. I don't fucking know. Sheamus comes out. He starts talking about some shit. They're showing a bunch of clips. Everything on this whole show is replays of other shows. That's all this show is. Replays of SmackDown. Replays of past Raws. That's all you get. Mark Henry and Sheamus are looking like they're about to fight. And then fucking... Oh, one thing I wanted to say. And because you get this throughout the night. Like JBL's talking about the Mark Henry Sheamus match, how this is going to be an amazing match. You get this from JBL a lot now throughout the night. Throughout the whole fucking show. He's saying that the Mark Henry Sheamus is going to be amazing. When the Shield is fighting, he was saying that the Shield might, in the long run, be a better team than the Four Horsemen and the NWO. You know, what kind of bullshit is this? The Shield, what has the Shield done other than win matches? What have they done that's revolutionary, that is groundbreaking TV? Nothing. Are you serious? Better than the NWO? Do you know how many shirts the NWO sold? Do you know what the NWO did for the wrestling world? How it started off the Monday Night Wars? And they have the nerve to feed JBL lines to say that the Shield is on par with the NWO? I mean, you know, and why do you think they didn't say DX? Oh, because DX is a WWF born faction. NWO is from WCW, so we could bury them down and say the Shield is better than them. You know, JBL is now becoming a corporate propaganda puppet. It's getting ridiculous. Every fucking match, JBL says, this is an amazing match we have here. One of the greats. Calling Dolph Ziggler one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. You know, like everything they do these days is just fucking phenomenal. Anyway, the Mark Henry versus Sheamus match happens. No, not Mark Henry versus Sheamus. It was Sheamus versus Wade Barrett. I'm sorry. Mark Henry's on commentary. Sheamus wins. Then Mark Henry gets involved and he starts beating Sheamus up with the belt. The belt whipping was nice. You know, it harkened back to old days when people used to beat the shit out of people with a belt. You know, so the belt beatdown was okay. Then you get the main event. You know, earlier in the night, Ryback was talking to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wanted to fight Ryback in a rematch for SmackDown. And Ryback, I guess, is on a roll now. He's stealing everything from Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice. He's going to steal his whole gimmick. You know, Ryback has stolen Sid with the Ryback rules. Sid used to say, Sid rules the world. Now Ryback is saying Ryback rules. And now he stole another quote from Sid. He tells Daniel Bryan, you are half the man that I am. However, he also forgot the second part to Sid's quote when after he says, you are half the man that I am, he says, and I have half the brain that you do. Too bad he forgot that part. That would make me fucking laugh my ass off. But anyway, we get Ryback versus Kane. Bad fucking main event. Just a horrible, shitty ass main event. Nothing fucking happened. Ryback wins with the shell shocked. And then the Shield comes out. Daniel Bryan comes out. Ryback walks away. The Shield. And then Cena comes out. Cena and Team Hell No are fighting off the Shield. Then Ryback comes with a chair and starts beating down the Shield with a chair. And then Ryback starts beating up Cena after the Shield had been cleared from the ring. So the same thing as last week where Cena helped beat up the Shield with Ryback, then turned to Ryback and AA'd him. Ryback did the same to John Cena this week. You know, Ryback did the exact same thing as John Cena did, yet you have Jerry Lawler basically fucking crying when Ryback does this. He's saying, what are you doing? I swear to God, it sounded like Jerry Lawler was about to start crying. He's doing the exact same thing that your gay lover John Cena did, and you're saying, what are you doing, Ryback? You know, this is just ridiculous. This is like, how fucking retarded. I bet they're so happy with themselves when they're booking this stuff, you know, like, they really think they're intelligent. They're in the board. They're like, okay, so last week we had Cena help out Ryback, then turn on him. I got it. We'll have Ryback turn on Cena this week. Yeah, we've got a real doozy here tonight, folks. You know, these guys are probably so fucking happy with themselves. They think they're so smart. Ooh, this is like symbolism, you know? We did this last week, but we're gonna reverse it. I'm spent with this fucking show. I really am, you know? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm losing my patience fast. Very fast. This show sucked. Very, very fucking bad. I'm so sick to my stomach that I missed a great fucking hockey game for this shit. My voice is going out, so that means I've got to leave now. Alright, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Check out those 2 channels below. I am Jay Shady, the voice of reason, and I'll see you later.